Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Hopefully the mic is good, the audio is crisp and not Poundland Wallying. But we don't have a bib, so even if all of that is good, we don't have all of the stuff. There he is. He's returning. He's back. He's live as he shuffles himself back into view. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. For those of you that welcome into Twitch, checking the audio. For those of you that welcome into Twitch. Checking the audio. Yeah, sounds good. Nice. There we go. Audio does sound good. Nice. Nice. How are we all doing? Hopefully you're good. Thursday, getting set for the weekend. You broke the hump of the week yesterday, and now it's the countdown to the weekend. Are you looking forward to it? Are you all good? Nice. Anyway, for those of you who don't know who we are, my name is Graham Day. This is the man that we call Baby, and we are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video games podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. How are we all doing? Are you all good? Are you all good? You all want to talk about some video game news? Good, because that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to play some video games afterwards. You've probably seen it a couple of times already this week, but we'll do the scoop, and then we'll jump into some State of Decay. So if you want to see some hunter-gathering, some zombie killing, someone getting absolutely stressed because he wants to pick up absolutely everything and doesn't have enough spaces in his inventory system and struggles to manage his inventory with any form of pace, then join us for that. It's absolutely not stressful at all. Actually, it's really good. The last stream of State of Decay, if you missed it on Tuesday, was exceptionally good because I was starting to understand what's supposed to happen 7 hours in, and I'm finally starting to get to grips with it. So it was good. It was good. An hour and a half passed like that. It just didn't feel like, any time whatsoever. I know if you are new here, though, this bit isn't gameplay. This is the podcast. So we're going to give you our thoughts and our impressions of the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games over the next hour-ish. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. If you're in the chat, please feel free to get involved. We do go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. 10 a.m. ish. If you're a subscriber on the channel, which there should be a lot more because we had like 12 subs thrown down in yesterday's podcast alone because you guys wanted to start Hype Train because you're absolutely exceptional and you support the channel very, very well. But if you are a sub, you have an exclusive emote that says ish. We go live at 10 a.m. ish. We aim for 10. Sometimes it's more like 11:30. Sometimes it's 11:30 ish, which is kind of where we are now. 11:27 is the time today. But we do go live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. And if you are with us when we do go live, it's important that you do get involved because we turn the live stream, as mentioned, into a podcast, a video podcast on YouTube, should I say, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play, all of the places where everyone can watch and listen on demand. They can pause, fast forward, rewind, but they don't get to speak to us live. So you guys get to do that, not only for yourselves, but on behalf of everyone else watching and listening on demand a little bit later on. Before we do jump into the stream, a reminder that all of those new subs yesterday, make sure you join the Discord. !Discord in the chat will give you the link. If you join our Discord and you're a sub, then you can get yourself free prizes. I say that, you have to make sure that you have linked your Twitch and your Discord accounts. If you don't do that, you don't get access to the loot drop channel in Twitch. And the reason I'm saying that is because !loot drop in the chat will tell you that we give away a prize every month. One subscriber bags himself a prize, and this month's prize will be a copy of Resident Evil Village. We will give that away on Monday. So someone will get themselves a free game before it's even released this Monday, plus some extras as well from our Resident Evil stash. So yeah, if you're a sub, it doesn't cost you any more. If you're not a sub, sorry, but it's a sub exclusive. It's just our way of giving back to the people that help keep on the lights and mics. Nice. Anyway, how's things, babe?
Very good. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. So yesterday, we were streaming some State of Decay.
It was.
And you said you won't be playing any State of Decay with us today because you were off doing golfy bits. A little birdie tells me that you enjoyed it so much that you've sacked off golf so that you can play some State of Decay. Is that right? Can you confirm if this is true or not?
I mean, that you made it sound like an ITV drama, but yeah, we'll go with that because that's that's a bit clickbaity, and people will probably more inclined to believe that. So yeah, let's just go with that.
It's all right. It makes people think that our State of Decay stuff was fucking exceptional. It wasn't 50% me going, how do I do this? So it's fine.
That's the best part about it. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's so frustrating though because I'm used to being like I like to know my games and everything I do inside out. So I'm playing PUBG. I know all of the the rules and the whys and the whats and stuff. Playing Pez, I know all of the rules and the whys and the whats and stuff. Playing State of Decay, I know that I don't know, and that's about it. The only thing I know inside out is the fact that I don't know. So there you go.
That's the beauty of the game, though, because I've been playing it since State of Decay 1, like I said, and State of Decay 2, I played a small amount, but enough to know quite a lot of what's going on. And then other people keep on joining and saying, you need to, this is the best way to do it. This is the best way to do it. If you take this, you'll be able to acquire this. You'll be able to do this, this, and this. And it's just like, I didn't even know that. So this is fantastic.
Yeah, see, that's what you're finding amazing. What I find amazing is the fact that I was like, I'm going to go out in the car. I went out in the car, and within 3 seconds, I had the door ripped off to the side of the car and driven back to the camp because I was going to die. And then everyone else jumps in the game, and then there's like a full herd of zombies walking past, and Duke of Donuts just went, oh, and ran off and killed them all on his own, pretty much. And I'm like, I can't even handle one when I'm in a vehicle. And he just ran off with like a spatula and splattered them all. So yeah, there you go. And I've got a lot of learning to do, but we'll continue that after the show. Before that, though, shout to Magic Man 1977. Madge, love you, man. Thank you very much for the host early doors as well. 13 minutes ago, as soon as we went live, Madge dropped the host on the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Anyone that does want to linger around in the channel, even if you don't want to get involved in the chat, it's nice that if you are here that you give us your thoughts and impressions for everyone that's watching on demand, but you don't have to. Just linger in, just lurking, ! Lurk if you want to lurk, but still let us know you're there. Then ! Lurk in the chat will help you to do that. Anyone that does lurk gets us an extra view. Any extra views help with the exposure of the channel, which will help us grow, which we want to do. So appreciate anyone that does that. Drops the hosts, drops raids. You don't have to spend money to help support the channel, so we appreciate you all. Thank you very much. I'll read. Northern Lad says, Return of the Mac Wagwan. I'll read. Welcome in. How's things, dude? Audio is good. All good audio. Cheers, boys. Mr. Garlic Clark is in the chat as well, dropping the X-Cords, ! Discords. Ads plays. How's things, Ads? Ads, how is your Muscle Moose collection coming on? Because I know that we may have drove you into addiction. Not that Muscle Moose is addictive, but it's nice, and we had a 25% discount. We still have a 25% discount code, actually. So yeah, I've not asked you about it recently. Are you still buying it by the crate load? It's good shit. I mean, speaking of which, I literally have a crate of this. This one, I think, is now my second best flavour, by the way. This is not Spawn or Ad. This is, we have this stuff. Moose Juice, aka Muscle Moose, gave us, like, they send us some of their new releases, their new products, and this was the last one that released. Tropical flavour Moose Juice. It's good. Second best good for me, behind the Apple one, I think.
Yeah, it didn't last long in my house, I'm telling you.
Oh, I take it slowly with energy drinks because I'm an old man and get heartburn. So like fizzy drinks. Yeah, no, I just have one once every now and then. Jobs are good, but you can tell when I'm like flagging because I don't go to the coffee. I go to the Muscle Moose. So if I'm sat having a moose juice, it's because I need some high octane.
Ice cream.
Like if we're doing a big event sort of stream, so we haven't done one for a while, but we're planning something soon. But whenever we do things like the Ice Cream Uploads Invitational tournaments or the Muscle Moose Cup or something of that style, you'll often see me with either a bunch of cold coffees or an energy drink. That's when I need my kick, my buzz. So that's when I'll open up the moose juices. But Iceman, thank you very much for the host. Good morning. How are you doing, sir? Do you know what? I'm going to ask you. I'm going to get out of the way now. Iceman, what are you having for dinner today? Might as well tell me. Come on. Get it out. Not like that, Easy Tiger. And as I'm saying that, Ads has gifted a sub to Lamo96 or Lamo. If it is Lamo, I apologise. If it's not Lamo, I apologise. You know what I mean. But anyway, Ads, thank you very much.
Absolute shagger.
Yeah, what a guy. And there he is. Hey, thanks for the gift of sub. What a legend. Not gonna lie, I don't actually know right now. Okay, well, it's gonna be incredible. Whatever you have for dinner, it's gonna be incredible, and I'm gonna be jealous. It's fine. Our alerts broke. They shouldn't be.
No, it says that Ads. Ads has just said he also subbed himself, but the alert didn't pop up. I'm not seeing it in the activity feed either, so that's weird.
Try refresh your screen. Yeah. Refresh your screen, and it'll give you the option to share it. Most likely, it's only when you share it, kind of thing, that it will then trigger the alert because it's not come up in Twitch's activity feed or Streamlabs' activity feed, so it hasn't come through yet. You've probably done it, but I can see the logo next to your name now. So yeah, maybe refresh. It'll probably give you the option to trigger it at that point in time. Where did we get to? Chelsea. Oh, hi, baby. We won. Yeah, we did. All right, next week's a big game. Also,
Yes,
great. I'll do mush. Do you know? I tweeted. City fans, you absolutely can thank me. By the way, I'm assuming we're talking about the City game there. By the way, but you can absolutely thank me because I saw about the last 20 minutes of the first half, and genuinely because I'd missed it, and the game that I was watching was incredibly shit quality. I'm not saying it was a dodgy feed or anything, but yeah, anyway, it was incredibly shit quality. I couldn't really tell all of the players apart, and it was only when Phil Foden got that shot, I was like, fuck me, has Phil Foden even been on this pitch? Because he's been so good over the last season. You know when Phil Foden's on the pitch because he's filthy on the ball and off the ball. And I was like, fuck me. Phil Foden's been absent. The only time I knew he was there was when he fluffed a shot that he should have been making the keeper work harder for. And then I turned it off, and then the second half, it sounded like it all changed because I was seeing like Opta or whatever tweeting stuff out about Phil Foden this morning saying he's been involved in like 1 million goals, 6 of which happened last night. And I was like, all right, fuck me. You're welcome, City fans. So there you go. I did it the other week with Fred. Fred's shit, and then he goes and scores a goal. So there you go. There you go. Ads. Thank you very much for the 7-month sub. There you go. Good morning. A sub and a gift there. Do you know what? Because you had to wait for it, I'm going to play it again.
Stay frosty, yeah?
Stay frosty, yeah. Thanks, Ads. What a guy. We've got the Garlic Clark in the chat. There we go, Iceman. There you go. The world is back to normal. Callum! Morning, everyone. How's things, dude? I saw you and the missus drinking some alcoholage. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. I can't remember. It could have been 6 weeks ago. The power of Facebook showing you images that not necessarily are relevant just because. So there you go. So yeah, if you are getting free samples of alcohol, feel free to send some to the Ice Cream Upload Studios. Myself and Bibby will get absolutely trolleyed on stream for everyone else's enjoyment. That's a fact. I bought a crate of that shit in the summer using your code, and it was legit. It's good. It is good. It is genuinely really, really good. These as well. Do you know? You've seen it before. That if you like flapjacks, I was going to get out, but it would feel a bit like over the top, like I'm trying to force sales on you. We don't earn money off them, by the way. So, but the flapjacks are good. If you like big proteiny flapjacks, they're good. They are massive. Where did we get? Oh, there we go. Also, yesterday was sausage and chips. See, that's classic. We like sausage and chips. Big lurker in here, lads. Love the show. Keep it up. Do you know what? Shout out to you. I love the lurkers. I know that there is lurkers because we often have more viewers than we have chatters. And do you know what? Shout out to the lurkers. We appreciate you because you guys are just as valuable as anyone else. You're helping us with the exposure. So thank you very much, dude. Welcome in. Enjoy the free gifty sub. Use the ish and the stay frosty emotes until your heart's content. Yeah, there you go. Chucky's in as well. Good morning. Good morning. The subs that don't pop up go straight into Graham's pocket. They all go into Graham's pocket. Yeah, Phil Foden. That's it. Yeah, Phil Foden. It was last night. Oh, there you go. See, at least Facebook did show me a picture when it was relevant. That's new to me. I'm like a British bus. You wait ages for 1 and 2 show up. Hey! Well, do you know what? It's fine. It's worth the wait. Worth the wait. Anyway, let's jump into some news because that's what we are all here for, right? Right. I mean, obviously, we will have gameplay afterwards. So if you want to jump into some State of Decay, then do stick around. But for now, we'll jump into some news. And if you follow us on Twitter, spoilers, !Ice Cream Uploads. No, ! Socials. We are Ice Cream Uploads across the board on every channel. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But if you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, you will have seen the lead story of the day, which is this. It's actually 2 stories, so we'll jump through them both back to back so we can dissect. So grab yourself a brew, get comfy, because we're going to be reading for a few minutes here now as Don Peppiatt starts things off, though, with this article from VG247. Xbox hardware revenue is up 232% year on year, and Xbox Game Pass revenue is up by 34%. So the Xbox Series X is once again solidified as Microsoft's fastest-selling console as the company posts continued growth and improved sales over the last financial quarter. Microsoft's gaming business continues to help bring in record revenue for the company as Microsoft has reported a large uptick in quarterly revenue coming off the back of the launch of the Xbox Series X and S. In its latest financial results, Microsoft announced that the gaming division revenue was up 50% year on year, boasting a huge $3.53 billion earnings over the last 12 months. The vast majority of that income stems from Xbox hardware, largely the launch of the Xbox Series X and S, which is up 232%. That said, Microsoft is still reticent to share actual sales figures for the hardware, unlike Sony, who just announced that the PS5 has sold over 7.8 million consoles. More on that in a minute. But it's not all hardware. As per Microsoft, Xbox content and services revenue increased 34% too, suggesting that the entire Xbox brand is benefiting from tactical decisions made by its leadership. Microsoft notes this growth is driven by strength from third-party titles, Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, and first-party titles. It's worth noting that the figures listed here also take into account the performance of ZeniMax, the Bethesda parent company that Microsoft acquired for an eye-watering $7.5 billion. Notably, Minecraft has been a key part of Microsoft's revenue stream over the past financial year too. The company notes that the game has nearly 140 million active monthly users? Nice. Which is up 30% year on year. Quotes, creators have generated over $350 million from more than 1 billion downloads of mods, add-ons, and other experiences in Minecraft, notes Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. With all this good news, there's bound to be some bad, of course. Microsoft's Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood noted that supply issues for the Xbox Series X and S are liable to continue into summer. Quote, significant demand for the Xbox Series X and S will continue to be constrained by supply, she said during the call. And on the strong prior year comparable, we expect Xbox content and services revenue to decline in the mid to high single digits. This is in line with previous Microsoft comments about the console remaining in high demand until at least June. So that's the first article. Xbox hardware revenue is up 232%, and Game Pass revenue is up by 34%. So all good in the Xbox world. Now let's jump into the blue side of the games industry as Sony reports 7.8 million PS5 shipped in PlayStation's best year ever. This is written by Andy Robinson at VGC, and the tagline says, PS5 is tracking ahead of the PS4, and Sony expects sales performance to continue this year. Scroll down. Sony's gaming business has reported its best ever year in terms of revenue and profit as early PlayStation 5 consoles shipped tracks ahead of its predecessor. In its latest financial results published on Wednesday, the corporation said its games and network services division had generated revenues of around $25 billion and profits of around $3.2 billion for the fiscal year ending March the 31st, 2021. As shown by Nico Partners analyst Daniel Ahmad in the graph below, this represents a record year for Sony's gaming division. 3.3 million PlayStation 5 consoles were shipped in the 3 months to March the 31st. Sony said this means total shipments reached 7.8 million in the first 2 quarters since launch in November, which surpasses the 7.6 million achieved by the PS4 during the same timescale. It's worth noting that the PS5 launched in more territories than the PS4, which didn't arrive in countries such as Japan until months after the US and Europe. Sony said that although it expects a shortage of hardware components to continue during its current fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022, its current target is to exceed the 14.8 million PS4 consoles shipped during its second year. 338.9 million games were sold in total during the fiscal year, Sony said. 58.4 million which were first-party titles. More than half, 65% of PS4 and PS5 games sold during this period were digital downloads. More than half. That's 2/3, 65%. So PlayStation 4 has now sold in 115.9 million units, Sony said. This represents an increase of around 5 million units since this time last year. PlayStation 2 is Sony's most successful console, with some 155 million units shipped in its lifetime. The biggest driver of revenue for Sony during the latest quarter was software, which generated $6.22 billion, and add-on content, which was $8.59 billion, including microtransactions and DLC. Yeah, we'll stop there. I don't think we need to go any further. I think we've got enough to do a full kind of roundup there. So Sony has sold 7.8 million PS5s. They've put an actual number on the amount of consoles sold, which is true to the way that Sony do it. Xbox haven't given a number on the console sold, but they have said that hardware revenue is up 232%. Long story short, they're all selling shit loads. What are your thoughts on that, Bib?
Well, there's obviously quite a few factors that come into this as well. That PlayStation. This wasn't just taken from the PlayStation 5. All of these statistics were based off of both consoles was based off of this time last year to where we are now. So in a COVID world, more people was turning towards playing games with their friends, whether or not it be on console, whether or not it be on PC, either over Zoom or whatever the fuck that there was playing these games and trying to stay in contact with our family members or friends. So that's the bit that's the massive foot in the door for any of these video game companies that are creating consoles or creating video games. I imagine if we wasn't in a COVID world, the numbers would still be high. I'm not sure whether or not they would beat expectations because other people were spending their monies on going on holiday or having a lot of work done in the house or I don't know. I think there'll be other things that people will be spending money on rather than spending it on consoles straight off the bat, especially when there wasn't that many knocking around. I mean, it surprises me how much more they could have potentially made if more consoles was available because they've managed to eclipse their new console sales in a shorter amount of time with less product out there. It's kind of mind blowing, really. But I think there's a lot of different factors that come into this. I do think the biggest one though is the fact that a lot of people have been at home. They've been buying more games. They've been renewing their subscriptions for longer. They've been buying more DLC. They've been buying microtransactions because a lot of people have probably come out of this pandemic. Of course, if they haven't lost their jobs or they've been working right the way throughout, I've probably ended up saving quite a chunk of money. And I am one of the fortunate people that have been working throughout COVID and have had a little bit of excess money. Obviously, that isn't the case for absolutely everyone, but I imagine those of people who have
Thank
been
you
working
for the
throughout
ice cream.
have saved quite a lot of money because they haven't been going on holiday and they haven't been doing things that they would necessarily be going out every single weekend to the pub and spending money there as well. So yeah, I think this definitely has a massive impact on it.
Just want to shout out Dare to D-Mac. Thank you very much for the host. Appreciate that, dude. It's nice to see.
Yes.
It's nice to
Cheers,
see
Shaggy.
that founders badge as well. Yeah, there you go. The first. Yeah, just call them founders. Nice. Yes. Thank you very much, D-Mac. Yeah, that's kind of the crazy thing. The fact that how much more could they have sold if they hadn't been hamstrung? That said, would they have sold as much if they hadn't been hamstrung? A lot of people are driven by the fact that they want what they can't get. Supply and demand. If things are,
FOMO.
yeah, exactly, and that's what it is. People are missing out. People will miss out on PlayStations. People have been missing out on PlayStations for 6 months, longer now. Actually, is it? Was it? When did they come out? September or October? I can't remember. Whatever, about 6 months ish. So half a year, people have been missing out on consoles. So has that supply and demand issue, has that been beneficial for them? 7.8 million shipped already. I mean, maybe imagine just going to, like, I don't know, North America or China or wherever their manufacturing plants are, and then just opening up like a big warehouse store and just seeing an absolute stack of Xboxes and PlayStations just sat there, and they're going, "Oh, there they are! Oh no, we didn't realize that we were just releasing them just enough to smash our records." So PlayStation's PS4 record was it 7.6 million sold? They've managed to sell 7.8, so just enough to break it, but not enough to go too much further. It is bizarre, but obviously that's conspiracy theories and such. But I mean, they are absolutely killing it. It's hugely down to the fact that we've had the pandemic and people are looking for indoor opportunities for escapism and relaxation, definitely.
Yeah.
But also it's fueled by the fact that we have two competitors, I think, as well, because Xbox's software sales are increasing. Xbox's hardware sales are monumentally increasing. But Xbox fucked up. I mean, we've said this before, so we don't need to spend too long on it. But Xbox fucked up, and they spent a whole generation fixing mistakes that they made before the generation launched. And by the end of the generation, Xbox had fixed what they needed to fix, but they were so far behind that it didn't really matter. I'm talking purely from a who wins sort of conversation. It did matter because Xbox, phenomenal console. Xbox Game Pass, amazing opportunity to get into a huge selection of games for a ridiculously low price. But that all was kind of irrelevant for Xbox in the last generation. For the last 2 years, people have been coming round to the idea that Game Pass is good. Oh, Game Pass actually is not just a swizz. Oh, it actually is pretty decent, and maybe not so much now. You probably don't hear that as much anymore, but you have heard that conversation, guaranteed. If you talk video games or you have friends in video games, you will have heard people at some point have the Game Pass epiphany, where it's okay, Xbox Game Pass is actually really good. I didn't realize what it was. I've now looked into it. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have
Rightly
it.
so as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have it because I don't play on an Xbox and I don't play Xbox games on my PC primarily. So it's an absolutely exceptional deal that doesn't necessarily speak to me just yet. If I get an Xbox Series X or S, which I will do at some point, at that point I will be getting Game Pass, definitely, because it's so good. But the point that I was trying to make though was that part of the reason that things are selling so well is because we have an actual battle on the cards. Yeah, PlayStation may be so far ahead from the last generation that they have a head start in this generation, potentially. But 232% increase in hardware revenue. That is huge for Microsoft. And I think that is because they put so much effort in fixing the foundations for this generation. All that time spent rolling out Game Pass, adding to the... my WhatsApp is live. If anyone just had a WhatsApp, that's me, not you. It's gone. So, yeah, they've spent the last 2 years making Game Pass not just be something you've never heard of, not be something that you might try, to be something that you absolutely should be using, and then launched the most powerful console there is available on top of that. Now, that is Xbox and Microsoft absolutely nailing their strategic plans for making this a two-horse race, which is wonderful. That's the reason why we've got hardware and software sales going through the roof on both sides of the coins, and it's nice to have a two-horse race for a change. Gary Clark, Xbox last gen, TV, one game, TV, a new controller color, TV. I mean, that's kind of what it was. Like, up until late in the Xbox One generation, like, life cycle. I mean, it's kind of say life cycle like it's finished. I mean, they still are doing bits for it now, but throughout the last generation, that's kind of what it was. And then the last 2 years, they started, I wouldn't necessarily say they started hitting like major headline news, but they started putting the groundwork in to be ready to hit headline news, and it's nice. They've absolutely smashed it so far. Arguably, I mean, like I say, I'm not a fanboy of either, but you could put me in the PlayStation camp. If you had to put me in one, I would be a PlayStation, on the PlayStation side of the fence, probably. But PlayStation's marketing since launch has been nothing compared to Xbox's, nothing at all. And there's got to be reasons for that. I feel like it's sleeping giant. PlayStation's holding back. Microsoft are smashing it because they've got everything ready to go. They launched their console a bit earlier. They've got more things to sing about with the ZeniMax media takeovers and so on, whereas PlayStation's almost like the reticulated python or whatever the word is, just about to strike, but it's not ready yet. It's just charging up. So, yeah. Kulan, good morning. I got fucked again. Was supposed to get my PS5 May the 3rd, then they changed it to December 31st. As in December 31st this year.
Wow.
Well, damn, that is harsh. I mean, January, February, March. So 7 months delay. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Weirdly, I've got a PS5, but I've not played it for ages. Played more of my Series X due to Game Pass. But that's kind of kind of understandable. I play on my PS5 all the time, but this last couple of weeks, I've played on my PC more than anything because I've been playing State of Decay. So technically, I'm playing on my Xbox because it's an Xbox game that I'm playing through the Xbox app on PC. So at the moment, I am an Xbox user, I suppose. Generally, I will be on PlayStation because of my huge pile of shame that I'm working my way through. But yeah, no, that kind of relates. I'm guessing that those statements were drafted before the TSMC investor report. I don't know what that is, so tell me more. Sports, esports, TV, sports, TV. Yeah. I pre-ordered it in June. That is horrendous. Kulan pre-ordered a PS5 a year ago, and a year later, he's been told that he has to wait 6 more months. That is ridiculous. And that's the shit thing. It's like if we've sold 7.8 million PS5s, you've got to feel like there or thereabouts. Let's just say they are on par because there is more Xboxes available. Let's just say they're on par. So we've got 8 million PS5s, 8 million Xboxes. That's 16 million consoles sold without hesitation. There was a comment a little bit earlier on because PlayStation sold 7.8 million. Iceman says, and 7 million of them went to scalpers. Probably. 7 million went to me. I've got them all. Yeah, no, I have two. Absolutely scalped all the rest of them though. Yeah, fucking shitloads. But yeah, 16 million consoles sold, which is a huge number in the short time that they've been out. It just does make you wonder. Like I say, I keep making my own contradictory statements in my head. It makes you wonder how many they could have sold if the floodgates were opened and they just had all of the hardware in the world. But then I used to think, yeah, but would they have sold as many? But then again, the COVID situation, having a pandemic and not being able to go to the cinema, not being able to go to watch football, not being able to go to watch Phil the Power Taylor finish his darts career and stuff like that. We can't do any of that. So let's play on my PlayStation. Oh, there's a new one. Let's buy that. Would that have still boosted the sales? Potentially. It'd be interesting to see how it progresses though. So where was the stats? There was something along the lines of, there you go. Sony said that although it expects a shortage of hardware components to continue during its current fiscal year, ending March 31st, 2022, its current target is to exceed the 14.8 million PS4 consoles shipped during its second year. At this point in time, it's absolutely going to smash that because it sold 7.8 in 6 months ish. It's gonna be over like almost 16 million in its second year at that rate. But will there be slowdown? Have people bought in super fast? Have the scalpers artificially inflated those numbers and just ensured that the sales that would usually take 9 months to go have been done in 6 months? So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they go from smashing their first what have they put it down in 6 months? Their first 6 months of sales. If they've gone from smashing 6 months to not smashing its second year, that would be quite telling, and that would show you that the artificial inflation in the market from scalpers has had a huge effect.
I also think that the price of the console plays a massive difference in this as well, because you can buy for both consoles. You can get into next generation of consoles for 250 quid with Xbox Series S. That is a phenomenal price to get into next gen console. Fair enough, it's not as powerful as the X, but you're able to play in 4K ish. You're able to be playing these brand new games on your console, and even if it wasn't intended on buying discs or anything like that, and you just bought it as a Games Pass unit, more power to you because you're able to play hundreds of games at your fingertips for I think it's a little bit dearer than Netflix. I mean, I think Netflix is going up for a tenner now, so it's probably the same price. So you can't put. Well, I say you can't put a price on it, but you can 250 quid. But to get into a next generation of consoles for that cheap, it's unheard of. It's genuinely unheard of until 3 or 4 years down the line, where they bring out a slim version of the console or whatever. This is phenomenal. And even with the PlayStation, if you want the disc version, it's 550. If you want the non-disc version, just digital, it's 450. Like this is as cheap as you could probably get, and it's way cheaper than getting a PC. It's way cheaper. I mean, obviously, I much prefer to play on PC, but I've still got my PlayStation 5, and I love playing on that. So I've got the best of both worlds. But still, if you want to get in the next generation of consoles, 250 quid. That would be my go-to. If you wasn't that arsed, 250 quid, easy money to be able to get into the next generation of consoles. You
Just to
can't
mention,
argue with that.
just to mention, you mentioned that the next gen on PlayStation was 550 and 450. It's 450 and 350. Well, 359, 360. So it's 100 less.
Oh,
So
I was giving scalper prices.
well, you can tell what both of us are doing on a weekend. I mean, where do you think those Lambos come from? God damn.
Exactly. Sorry, apologies. Yes, you're right. 100 quid left for both of them.
But even still, I mean, like 359 for what is essentially the top spec console. I know it's not because it doesn't have the disc drive, but in terms of hardware specifications, sans drive, 359 quid for the top spec console is decent. I mean, like we've had price comparisons in the past, like 12 months ago when the prices were 7 months ago, 8 months ago when the prices were first spoken about, and people compared them to how consoles had costed previously. Xbox is smashing it with a 250 quid console entry point. Yes, not top spec, it is a drop spec, whereas PlayStation have got a 359 quid entry point, which is actually in relative history, that's actually a really good price when you compare the fact that with inflation, some of the older consoles have cost about £1,000, and that's 359 or 449. It's decent. It's decent. So the prices aren't stupid. And if you are looking at 4K ray tracing gaming, then obviously you can't go wrong with a PC. But if you've only got 450 quid, you'd be hard pushed to buy a top end PC, but you can get a top end PlayStation. So that there's naturally the trade off. I'm not going to say PlayStation consoles are better than PC. I'm not going to say PC are better than consoles. If I was going to choose, if someone would let me go absolute top end of either, I'd probably go PC because of all the things I can do with it. But yeah, they offer different solutions, and for that sort of price you can't really argue it, and that's exactly what the scalpers have seen. Okay, that's incredibly cheap, I don't have to break my back to get something, and it's at a low enough price where I can like hike up the price a little bit and still make a good margin whilst not making it like obscene for people. I mean, the flip side of that is you look at the 3090 graphics card, for example. One of my local Facebook marketplace this morning selling for £2,500. Yikes!
Someone will pay it though.
I know.
That's the reason they can get away with pricing it that high, because someone will play it. Someone who is desperate, again, who's probably been sat on quite a lot of money because they've been working and they haven't got anything to spend it on. They've been waiting for this card. Eventually, someone's just going to break and say, "Do you know what? Fuck it, it's going to last me 7 years." And then all they do is play games. They'll pay it. They will pay it.
Absolutely, which is a shame. I love the idea of not the 3090 but 3080. So I've got a 1080 Ti, which some of the benchmarks, the 1080 Ti is up there with the 3080. Other benchmarks, the 3080 absolutely kills it. But when it's RRP was about 500 quid, a new console sort of cost. That was an absolute bargain. Naturally, that's gone everywhere. The shit thing is that that's going to stay out of stock now until the fucking 40 series of graphics cards comes out, and then the 30s are kind of irrelevant, which is a shame. But anyway, that's a completely different story. What we can talk about now, though, is that PlayStation and the Xbox are both killing. Let's give you a quick recap before we move on. Xbox hardware revenue is up 232%. Love to see it. I love to see it. I have a PS5. What's that?
I love to see both of them winning.
Yeah.
We can scream green and blue from both sides, but ultimately, I love both of the consoles. They both offer completely different things.
100%. 100%. I was going to say, I have a PS5 sat here because PlayStation was better. The PlayStation prospect was better. I mean, you can argue it however you want, and there's a lot of good arguments that you can make that can't be countered. But in more ways than not, PlayStation won the last generation. I know that's a very broad sweeping statement, and like I say, we'll get rid of some of the areas where Xbox absolutely killed it. But PlayStation managed the last generation before, during, and at the end of it much better than Xbox did. However, Xbox at the end of it did change it around, and this year the fact that we haven't even really got into the generation and it's already a fucking it's a slobber knocker. There's just fucking haymakers being swung left, right, and center. People are rocking. People have got the strength, like both sides. of the fight. I love to see it. Love to see it. So Xbox hardware is up 232%. Revenue for Game Pass is up 34%, whereas PlayStation reports that 7.8 million PS5s have been shipped in PlayStation's best year ever. Best year ever. PlayStation's best year ever, and Xbox is killing it. That's what you love to see. That is what you love to see. That opinion is wrong, says Mr. T. And it probably is. It probably is. People could make arguments that will absolutely paint the picture of that opinion being wrong. Which is fine. But it's my opinion and it's right for me. Exactly. I know we're not allowed to like appreciate other people's opinions, but fuck it. But fuck it. You and your Xbox smell. Yeah. But no, it's good. It's good to see that we actually have a fight, because that this is such a cliched phrase for anyone that's been in and around football games, because you always get the conversations with the FIFAs and PES. It's good when they're both good, but it is good when they're both good, because if one absolutely pisses all over the other, then one community is getting shit. Well, pissed because they've been pissed on. The one that's in the lead, oh great, yeah, exactly. Like I said, when one pisses all over the other, and then you're getting shit. Well, no, you get pissed if you get pissed on. But let's say if FIFA just runs away with the football games market, then that's not good for either. It's great for EA, but it's not good for PES, Konami, and the Konami audience, because your game's not as good. By definition, that's not a great place to be in. But it's not great for FIFA as well, because you have your moment of magic where you're in the lead, but if you've not got competition pushing you to excel, then you stagnate, you become static, you put down roots that you don't need to do. You need to keep moving forward. So it's nice to see. This is meaning that PlayStation stagnated. It did. I was talking about PlayStation 1 before, during, and at the end of the campaign for the last generation. Arguably, you could say Xbox killed it at the end of the campaign, because what did PlayStation do that pushed the envelope towards the end of it? We always talk about that. This is how you share games on PlayStation. Nice sort of stuff, and killing the pricing and all sorts of things through it. But Xbox flipped the script with Game Pass and the stuff at the end. That means PlayStation, that may have been getting complacent, and that is happy to tell you that it sold 7.8 million consoles, because we know we're selling more than them. So yeah, here's some numbers. But do you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit back in my big leather chair, open up that big fat Havana Cuban cigar, and talk about 7.8 million consoles sold. Are you going to do anything about it, though? Did you not hear me say 7.8 million sold? Why do I need to do anything? Xbox now means that PlayStation have to be looking over their shoulder, which is good, because PlayStation won't put down roots. They will have to start moving. Xbox has already got the pace. If PlayStation want to start in front, they need to pick up the pace too. So, lovely place to be as a gamer. GG's boys. Both sides are still doing dark matches to continue the wrestling comparison. Read the new gens. Something seriously wrong if you pee on someone and they're covered in poop. Shh. Just go with it. Go with it. Okay, enough of the pee and poop. Let's jump into something else. Some people might find it pee and poop. I don't. Oh, shit, pressed the wrong button. No. There we go. Some people might find this pee and poop. I don't. But there we go. There we go, even. Joshua Robertson at The Gamer says, Epic won't put Fortnite on XCloud because it sees it as competition. So, do you know what? Screw you, Xbox. After all, PlayStation are going to win the generation. This is it. Game over. Job done. Now, Epic views Microsoft's xCloud as competitive with our PC offerings. Interesting. So let's stop for a quick second there. Did say that we might see Fortnite back on mobiles after all. The Fortnite might be coming to the iPhone because it's coming on xCloud. Oh, wait, actually, no, it's not. Because Xbox won't be getting it because Epic don't want the competition. This is what the article has to say. Epic's case against Apple has revealed that Epic Games will not put Fortnite on Microsoft's xCloud service as the company sees it as competition. According to The Verge, Epic Games Vice President of Business Development Joe Kraner, or Kreiner, I don't know how we'll say, we'll stick with Kraner, was questioned as to why Fortnite isn't available on xCloud. Kraner goes on to explain that it's because Epic views Microsoft's xCloud as competitive with our PC offerings. The Verge also states that it's likely, Kraner goes on to explain these views more thoroughly, but the rest of his answer has been redacted. Currently, the only way to play Fortnite on mobile at the moment is with NVIDIA's GeForce Now cloud service, what with the game having been pulled from Google Play and Apple storefronts due to Epic's dissatisfaction with the revenue share on both. In fact, Epic's current case against Apple, where this information came from, is due to Apple's strict 30% cut for in-app purchases. Fortnite was removed from the Apple Store more after Epic started directing customers to pay for V-Bucks via the Epic Store, as that would see 100% of the proceeds go to Epic, bypassing Apple's current 30% cut policy. As a result, the two companies have been locked in an ugly legal battle for quite some time, one that doesn't look like it's going to be resolved anytime soon. This lawsuit is likely the reason why Epic doesn't like the idea of Fortnite being playable on Microsoft's xCloud service either. What we can take away from this entire lawsuit is that Epic doesn't particularly like it when money the company earns via in-app purchases goes through another company. Having Fortnite on xCloud would mean that any money made from Fortnite would go through Microsoft first, thus no Fortnite on xCloud. We don't need the related news. That ending bit is interesting. I mean, money makes the world go around, or so it seems. Money makes Fortnite go around, as Epic will not be putting Fortnite on xCloud. So no Fortnite on your PC or your smartphone or your Xbox or whatever on the go, playing it in the cloud. You can't do that. Baby, your thoughts?
Yeah, a Tito nail on the head. Hang on, isn't this the same Epic who were kicking off about Apple being anti-competitive? I absolutely agree that this is the way that they had all the videos going out is that we're Epic, we're fighting the bigger fight for you. You guys over at Apple, you're not getting the commission that you deserve. Blah blah blah. And now they won't put it on another platform because they know that their finances will be hit to a small degree. We don't know how much it'll cost them to have the commission taken. Like, is it going to be 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 25? We obviously have no idea, but it feels like, I don't want to say that they're scared, but seeing them as a competitor, I get it from their business model. I absolutely get it. They are in a competitive battle with whoever it is, whether or not it be Apple, whether or not it be Microsoft. They want to be their own, and Epic Games want to be their own entity. Is the entire reason why they've created their own client to be able to download games. They give you free games. They want you to use their client as the number one. They don't. It's the same reason you'll never see it in Steam. Do you know what I mean? So if you was to download this on Android, you need to download the Epic Games launcher and then download it from inside that. You can't just go to the App Store and then get it from there. It's, yeah, I can see why they're saying that it's going to be competitive, but don't say in the next breath that you are fighting the fight for everybody else, Apple, and then go and try and do something like this, because it makes it feel like you had an alternative agenda in the first place, which is exactly what we said when we was talking about them going into battle with Apple in the first place. They're fighting the good fight, but they're fighting it for their own reasons, not because of the consumers.
Exactly. It's kind of, yeah, as you kind of expected it, but it's also a little bit disappointing. Do I like Epic as a company? Yes. Do I like Epic because they give me loads of free shit? Yes. Do I like Epic because not only do they give me free shit, but do they develop quality shit? Yes. They develop good stuff and they give me good value. If you get good quality and good value, then the only other thing you need is good service, and that's the full prophecy. Epic has good service. You need a refund, boom, there's your money back, boom, there you go, job's good and nice. So everything, oh, this is fucking wonderful. Epic do nail it from a customer facing perspective time and time again. So Epic fighting the good fight for the customers, okay, that's just, well, these guys not only give me good service, value and quality, they go out to bat for me as well. Or are they batting for me? I mean, yes, they do deliver all of that stuff for the customer. They do, factual. Why do they do that? Is it because they care about the customer? Probably. But is it because they care about profits? Definitely, for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. You can care about your customer and your profits at the same time. That's how business works. You have to care about your profits. If not, you can't care about the customer when you are out of business. So makes sense for them to be doing that. But it does put it into context, doesn't it? We were having this conversation. A little bit of playing devil's advocate and a little bit not needing to play devil's advocate. I love the idea of Epic fighting the man. I do love the idea of Epic fighting against Apple and Google, because they have developed systems that, if it was the early days of the App Store, then Epic shut your shit up, because Apple are trying to create a new system. They're trying to create a new way for society to engage with video games and content and downloading them on the go. Okay, yeah. Apple have succeeded in that, and that has been bred into society to a point where Apple now has the influence over society. They now have to change the way they operate so that they don't have a monopolistic control of society, which they arguably do. in the App Store. So Epic trying to get them to change that. I love the idea of it. I know there's obviously the conversation we had previously is the grey areas of, yeah, but Epic, you signed a contract. Yeah, but Epic were kind of forced to sign a contract. That's the only contract they could sign. So is it right? Is it wrong? That's where the grey area is. But if they were doing it for the customer, you can kind of think, do you know what? Okay, that makes you go on to the forget the contract area of the side of the grey area, should I say. But are they doing it for the customer? Does it look like they are? So now you kind of go back to those conversations. It's like, okay, you want to stick it to the man. You want to change the powers that be for the greater good. Nice. But really all you want to do is take the powers that be from another power and put them in your corner. That's kind of all you're doing. Is you're not looking after the people below. You're not trying to keep the powers that be good. You're trying to take the power for yourself, and that this is where it kind of shows competitive with our PC offerings. You were talking about competition. You were talking about making things competition being healthy. You can't have your cake and eat it in that sort of sense. We want competition as long as it's not with us. We want to compete with others as long as they don't fight back. Yes, please. No. That would be called bullying. It doesn't work that sort of way. So, nah. Let's jump back to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Epic versus Microsoft WrestleMania 38. Do you know? Let's get. That's how we should settle it. When we have things like this, we should just get like the head honcho, the person that comes out onto like the Epic on the Microsoft. Do you know? We'll have like Epic versus Microsoft, and then we'll like Phil Spencer kind of thing versus I can't remember who the Epic top dog is. We'll just call him Mr. Epic because that sounds like a wrestling name. So Phil Spencer, like Vince McMahon's his way down to the ring. Mr. Epic comes out. Phil Spencer's just finished him, like just Stone Cold Stunned. Mr. Epic is down for the count. 1, 2, and whilst that's happening, you don't see that Apple Man is legging it down the ramp as well with a steel chair in his hand. This is how things should work. Apple, Epic, Microsoft, just get them all in a ring. WrestleMania 38, get them all put into WWE 2K 2022. Jobs are good, and we'll have a triple threat match. Get PlayStation in there as well. Fatal 4-way. Whoever wins, that's it. That's how we sort things out now. There you go. Conflict resolution. You don't need like Supreme Justice Courts or whatever. Just a couple of games of WWE. Job's a good one. Lovely. Both sides. Oh no, I've done that bit. Hang on, isn't this the same Epic who were kicking off on Apple about being anti-competitive? Says Tito. Yeah, exactly. That was the comment I was looking for, and that's it. That's the shit thing. Is I like what Epic are trying to do. They are a business. They want to make money, and I don't have a problem with that because that's what every business is doing. PlayStation has just sold 7.8 million PS5s. Do you know what that means? Money. I mean, they want to look after you as well, but fuck yeah. Xbox did pretty well last generation and already are 232% up. Do you know what that means? Money. So everyone's making money. I don't mind Epic making the money. It's just it's the tone and the right way. If you're going to fight the good fight, if you're going to have that 1984 sort of like video scene that you put in the game to like mobilize your audience against Apple and co, then at least be beyond reproach. And at this point, not so much. So yeah, it's a bit of a swing and a miss. Ad says Nintendo is greater than. Well,
you can't play Fortnite on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. There you go. Get rid of your iPhone. Just get Nintendo. Petition Nintendo to make a phone app for the Switch, and that's it. You're set. Job's good. Who knew a huge multinational corporation was greedy, Kappa? Says Tito. Touche. Anyway, let's move ahead. Enough of greed. Let's talk about gifts. Freedom. So whilst Mr. Epic, Phil Spencer, and Jim Ryan are all having their triple threat match in the ring, and actually, no, Jim Ryan is the PlayStation 1. Apple Man, and all those are having a fight. Sony suddenly squeals out the side of the ring and buggers off to the end to give us some free stuff. I'm only joking. They all give us free stuff. Epic give you free stuff each and every single week, but Sony do give you free stuff every month, and we do like to keep you up to date with that. So this is your latest PlayStation Plus game. So if you are a PlayStation user, chances are you will have PlayStation Plus. You need it to play online and do all that sort of stuff. But Andy Robinson at VGC says these are May's PlayStation Plus games. They include Battlefield 5. Sony details next month's subscriber downloads. So Sony Interactive Entertainment has confirmed May 2021's PlayStation Plus games. The games are Bugbear's Wreckfest Drive Hard for the PS5, EA's Battlefield 5 for the PS4, and Beam Team Games' Stranded Deep for the PS4. All three titles will be available for subscribers to download between May the 4th, Star Wars Day on Tuesday, and May the 31st. April's PlayStation Plus games Oddworld Soulstorm, Days Gone, and Zombie Army 4 Dead War will leave the service on Monday, May the 3rd. So make sure you get them downloaded. If you haven't done it already, just going to highlight it on screen for you there. Oddworld Soulstorm, Days Gone, Zombie Army 4. Get them redeemed on your PlayStation account now, even if you're not going to download them. That way you've got them there should you ever need them again. Do it.
Yeah.
PlayStation is currently offering another free game to PS4 and PS5 console owners in the form of Guerrilla's Horizon Zero Dawn, which is available to download until May the 14th Pacific time. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan recently claimed that Sony hasn't decided if PS5's PlayStation Plus collection will be expanded beyond its initial launch lineup. Announced in September, the PlayStation Plus collection is a library of 20 PS4 games, which PlayStation Plus subscribers can play on PS5. Asked if there are plans to grow the collection, which currently consists of 10 first-party games and 10 third-party games, Ryan told GQ Sony was taking a wait-and-see approach. Quotes, "Well, we're going to wait and see how the world receives the Plus collection," he said. "You know, which games are played, how much they're played before we make any decisions about that." So, if you are a PlayStation user and you've got PS5, get yourself the PS Plus collection. If you're a PlayStation user with a PS4 or a PS5, then make sure you download this month's free games. Once again, they are Wreckfest, Drive Hard, and Battlefield 5, as well as Stranded Deep. All PS4, PS5 titles. Nice. You want some freebies, babe?
I love some freebies. Yeah, I mean, we usually save this segment for Free Game Friday, but I'm fairly certain we're going to get some more tomorrow anyway. And plus, we needed to stack up the news because there hasn't been that much over the last couple of days. So, yeah, I needed to keep something in there. But, I mean, get you prepared for a bank holiday weekend. That's all we're going to say.
I mean, the fact that you've got these games coming, the fact that you've got a last chance of getting the other games, and the fact that it's Thursday, so about 6 o'clock this evening, there'll be more games coming free from Epic and potentially announcements about next week's games as well. Lovely. So there you go. That has been the scoop. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Just a quick recap of the news. Both Xbox and PlayStation are killing it. Xbox hardware up a lot. PlayStation hardware up a lot in terms of sales, that is. Epic will not be putting Fortnite on XCloud because it's competition, and they don't like competition unless it's people competing with them. And PlayStation will give you some free games, as it does each and every single month, with this month's PlayStation Plus games that have just been announced. Thank you for joining us for the show. We appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much, DMAC for the host, Ads for the sub, Iceman for the host, and Madge for the host. You absolute heroes. We love you lots very, very much. We are going to end the scoop. We're going to go offline now. If you're watching on Twitch, do feel free to stick around because we will be coming back with some State of Decay. Bloody good game. Do you know what, babe? Quite often you tell me to play games and I'll try them and I'm like, nah. But this one, okay, I'll give you a social distance through the internet high five because this is a good game. State of Decay is good. It's good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. The people at Undead Labs, do you know what? You can get Baby for all of the revenue that he's not sent your way because I had the game already. But still, there you go. Nice. So as mentioned, we are going to go off. We're going to come back with State of Decay. But before that, babe, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for today's episode of The Scoop. If you do want to get involved and help shape our show, there is 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, Magic is already doing it in the fucking chat. What an absolute shagger. But find us socially is at Ice Cream Worlds across all major social media platforms. If you are watching this on demand, all the links that you will need are in the description below. But you can also get involved with our Discord. There is an area over there called The Scoop. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which, Graham Day, will be the final one of the week, and it will be Friday. But at what time will we be going live?
Well, Friday's show will be going live at 10 a.m.
Ish.
10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. ish. Just a reminder as well that this will be the last scoop for like 5 days ish, something like that, because we have, 4 days. We have Saturday and we have Sunday, but Monday is a bank holiday, so we will not be scooping on Monday due to the bank holiday, but we will be back on the Tuesday. So make sure you join us tomorrow, because if not, then you won't see us for a million years. Well, 4 days, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? Yeah, nice. Okay, we are going to disappear. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you once again being here. Do come back. If you're new and you haven't, you've seen it and you liked it, feel free to hit a follow, because you will get notified when we go live. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. We love you. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and stay frosty.